This is my message. They lie in wait for their own blood. They set a trap for their own lives. This is the way of everyone greedy for loot. It takes away their lives. Proverbs 2. Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, has 9 sections. 1, title and introduction, 1 through 7. 2, introduction of parents and of woman, wisdom, 1:8 through 9 through 18. Number 3, first Solomonic collection of sayings, 10, 1 through 22. Number 26. 4, sayings of the wise, 20 through 17, 24 to 22. 5, further sayings of the wise, 24, 23, 34. 6, second Solomonic collection collected under King Hezekiah, 25, 1 through 29, 27. 7, sayings of a girl and others, 30, 1 through 33. 8, sayings of King Lemuel, 31, 1 through 9. 10, poem on the woman of worth, 31, 10 through 31. Part 2 is judged by many scholars to contain 10 instructions, 1:8 through 19, and then all these different chapters. 3 wisdom poems and 2 interludes. Proverbs 1. Title and introduction. Chapter 1. Purpose of the Proverbs of Solomon. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, that people may know wisdom and discipline, may understand intelligent sayings, may receive instruction in wise conduct and what is right, just, and fair, that resourcefulness may be imparted to the naive, knowledge and discretion to the young. The wise, by hearing them, will advance in learning. The intelligent will gain sound guidance. To comprehend proverb and byword, the words of the wise and their riddles. Fear of the Almighty God is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. Instructions of parents and of woman, wisdom. The path of the wicked, greed and violence. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and reject not your mother's teaching. A graceful diadem will they be for your head, a pendant for your neck. My son, should sinners entice you, do not go. If they say, come along with us, let us lie in wait for blood, unprovoked. Let us trap the innocent. Let us swallow them alive like Sheol, whole like those who go down to the pit. All kinds of precious wealth shall we gain. We shall fill our houses with booty. Cast in your lot with us. We shall all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their path, for their feet run to evil. They hasten to shed blood. In vain a net is spread right under the eyes of any bird. They lie in wait for their own blood. They set a trap for their own lives. This is the way of everyone greedy for loot. It takes away their lives. Wisdom in person gives a warning. Wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the open square, she raises her voice. Down the crowded ways, she calls out. At the city gate, she utters her words. How long, you naive ones, will you love Nabiat? How long will you turn away at my reproof? The arrogant delight in their arrogance, and fools hate knowledge. Lo, I will pour out to you my spirit. I will acquaint you with my words, because I called and you refused, extended my hand and no one took notice. Because you disdained all my counsel and my reproof you ignored, I in my turn will laugh at your doom, will mock when terror overtakes you. When terror comes upon you like a storm, and your doom approaches like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish befall you, then they will call me, but I will not answer. They will seek me, but will not find me, because they hated knowledge, and the fear of the Almighty God they did not choose. They ignored my counsel. They spawned out my reproof. Well, then, they shall eat the fruit of their own way, and with their own devices be glutted. For the straying of the naive kills them, and the smugness of fools destroys them. But whoever obeys me dwell in security and peace without fear of harm. Do not let anger upset your spirit, for anger lodges in the bosom of a fool. Ecclesiastes 5, chapter 5. Be not hasty in your utterance, and let not your heart be quick to utter a promise in God's presence. God is in heaven, and you are on earth. Therefore, let your words be few. As dreams come along with many cares, so a fool's voice along with a multitude of words. When you make a vow to God, delay not its fulfillment, for God has no pleasure in fools. Fulfill what you have vowed. It is better not to make a vow than make it and not fulfill it. Let not your utterance make you guilty, and say not before his representative, it was a mistake. Why should God be angered by your words and destroy the works of your hands? Despite many dreams, fatalities, and a multitude of words, fear God. Gain and loss of goods. If you see oppression of the poor and violation of rights and justice in the realm, do not be astonished by the fact, for the high official has another higher than he watching him, and above these are others higher still. But profitable for a land in such circumstances is a king concerned about cultivation. The courteous are never satisfied with money, nor lovers of wealth with their gain. So this too is vanity. Where there are great riches, there are also many to devour them. Of what use are they to the owner except as a feast for the eyes alone? Sleep is sweet to the laborer, rather there is little or much to eat. But the abundance of the rich allows them no sleep. This is a grievous evil, which I have seen under the sun. Riches hoarded it by their owners to their own hurt. Should the riches be lost through some misfortune, they may have offspring when they have no means. As they came forth from their mother's womb, so again shall they return, naked as they came, having nothing from their toil to bring with them. This too is a grievous evil, that they go just as they came. What then does it profit them to toil for the wind? All their days they eat in gloom, with great vexation, sickness, and resentment. Here is what I see as good. It is appropriate to eat and drink and prosper from all the toil one toils at under the sun during the limited days of life. God gives us, for this is our lot, those to whom God gives the riches and property and grants power to partake of them, so that they receive their lot and find joy in the fruits of their toil. This is a gift from God, for they will hardly dwell on the shortness of life, because God lets them busy themselves with the joy of their heart. Ecclesiastes 6, chapter 6, limited worth of enjoyment. There is another evil I have seen under the sun, and it weighs heavily upon humankind. There is one to whom God gives riches and property and honor, and who lacks nothing. Heart could desire, yet God does not grant the power to partake of them, but a stranger devours them. This is vanity and a dire plague. Should one have 100 children and live many years, no matter to what great age, still, if one has not the full benefit of those goods, I proclaim that the child born dead, even if left unburied, is more fortunate. Though it came in vain and goes into darkness, and its name is enveloped in darkness, though it has not seen the sun or known anything, yet the dead child has more peace. Should such a one live twice 1,000 years and not enjoy those goods? Do not both go to the same place? All human toil is for the mouth, yet the appetite is never satisfied. What profit have the wise compared to fools? Or what profit have the lowly in knowing how to conduct themselves in life? What the eyes see is better than what the desires wander after. This also is vanity in a chase after wind. Kohela's conclusion. Whatever was long ago given its name in human nature is known. Mortals cannot contend in judgment with one who is stronger. For the more words, the more vanity. What profit is there for anyone? For who knows what is good for mortals in life? The limited days of their vain life spent like a shadow. Because who can tell them what will come afterward under the sun? No one can find out the best way of acting. Chapter 7, Ecclesiastes. Critique of sages on the day of adversity. A good name is better than good ointment, and the day of death than the day of birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting. For that is the end of every mortal, and the living should take it to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter. When the face is sad, the heart grows wise. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of merriment. It is better to listen to the rebuke of the wise than to listen to the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the fool's laughter. This also is vanity. Extortion can make a fool out of the wise, and a bribe corrupts the heart. Better is the end of a thing than its beginning. Better is a patient spirit than a lofty one. Do not let anger upset your spirit, for anger lodges in the bosom of a fool. Do not say, how is it that former times were better than these? For it is not out of wisdom that you should ask about this. Wisdom is as good as an inheritance and profitable to those who see the sun. For the protection of wisdom is as the protection of money, and knowledge is profitable because wisdom gives life to those who possess it. Consider the work of God, who can make straight what God has made crooked. And on good day enjoy good things, and on an evil day consider. Both the one and the other God has made, so that no one may find the least fault with him. Critique of sages on justice and wickedness. I have seen all manner of things in my vain days, the just perishing in their justice, and the wicked living long in their wickedness. Be not just to assess, and be not overwise. Why work your own ruin? Be not wicked to assess, and be not foolish. Why should you die before your time? It is good to hold this rule and not let that one go, but the one who fears God will succeed with both. Wisdom is a better defense for the wise than 10 princes in the city. Yet there is no one on earth so just as to do good and never sin. Do not give your heart to every word that is spoken. You may hear your servant cursing you, for your heart knows that you have many times cursed others. All these things I probed in wisdom. I said, I will acquire wisdom, but it was far beyond me. What is this? It's far reaching. It is deep, very deep. Who can find it out? I turned my heart toward knowledge. I sought and pursued wisdom in its design, and I recognized that wickedness is foolishness and folly is madness.